Hey, it's Wes. I want to thank you for tuning in. What I want to talk about today, and this is going to be a bit of a rambly video. I don't make videos a ton, but specifically, I want to talk about NFTs. And this is going to be what I wish I knew about NFTs when I first started. As you can see here on the screen, I got a nice little GIF that I had thrown together. It's actually the GIF of some of the NFTs I've created. It was part of the creepy crypto jacks, is what I called them. And, anyways, the things I really wish I'd known. Before I jump into that, I want to tell you the quick story about this. Basically, about a year ago, fall of 2021, the whole household was sick. We were going into the fall. The particular sickness that had been going around, the entire household had it. We were all quarantined. And I'm a student. I'm learning programming, things like that. And I was like, you know what? This is something I'm interested in learning how to do. And as you see here, there is a number of these that were created. And I put them actually over on Tofu NFT Too Fun. I don't know exactly how this is supposed to be pronounced, but the point is this. There's 5 things I really want to talk about. And first and foremost is the contract itself. I have never been able to get this to verify and publish. And the funny thing is, I have gotten tokens on the test network and such to able to verify. So I'm not sure what my deal is, but whenever you're building your contract, pay extra close attention, because a lot of people are going to look at this and they're going to say, wow, okay, we've got this here, but we don't know how many of these are ever going to exist. Well, guess what? There's only going to be 550. That's the way the contract's written. I just can't verify that. Now, of course, I could show you my remix where I'm dialed into it, but who's going to take the time whenever you should be able just to go right here and have it right here for you? So that contract building, contract validation, that's all important. Another thing I want to talk about the building itself, though, is I had a lot of problems whenever I was building it, and I thought it was me. But it turned out to be there was an error at the time with Node.js, and one of the things that would happen within it was conflicting with Solidity. And I don't remember exactly what the error was. It was like a year ago, and there was a hot fix put out for it, and I fought with that for absolutely no reason. It's just something that sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's the hardware or the software rather that you're working with. All right. So that brings me to the next thing I want to talk about is the naming functions. Now we're going to talk a little bit about this being blank in a moment. But if you take a look, you've got all the breakdown over here. The breakdown only the 4 color, less than 4%. The eyes, the mouth, nose, and the swag. Whenever I compiled these and built these, the swag component was actually added last. For whatever reason, it's not loaded here on Tofu NFT for crap. As you can see, even the image, it's just not there. And a lot of this has to do with some of the stuff that Pinata has gone to, which is where I hosted the images. If you take a look over here, in fact, I even hosted a website right off of the IPFS. And, I've got all of this kind of set up here. This information's out there. It's not really accessed, of course. The swag is kind of interesting. Oh, by the way, this is an old one I updated and did some changes about the time I launched it, right about Halloween, and I just kept it because it says rude. Anyways, if I go in here and I try to update this and try to refresh the metadata, try to get this to load in, you will see it just won't do anything. And of course, if I go in here and I try to open up Pinata just to try to check out the files, they're just going to error out. That's an issue with Pinata. It's just one of those things where either you go ahead and pay the extra for it, or you deal with, what you have. So anyways, I'm going to click on this one here because it has everything here. So this, of course, is missing the image. It's also missing a lot of this other information. Oh, wow, he's got blue eyes, blue mouth, and a blue nose. That's actually probably kind of rare all those matched. And he's even got the vampire swag. But what's interesting is that whenever you go over and you begin to look around some of these, some of the stuff isn't right. For whatever reason, it shows the swag as 90%. Okay, that's fairly accurate because 550 and of those 50 have that. And if you put swag none, okay, pops those up. If I do a search and filter for under swag ghost, for whatever reason, that's it. That's the only ones that are showing up. 11 whole NFTs of the 550 NFT run here are showing up, and that's it. If I were to do this all over again, that's something I would have to look into. I would look at probably going ahead and purchasing a package through Pinata for hosting. And I've thought about even doing it just temporarily just to kind of accelerate this. But as a student, it's not exactly a top priority for me. But yeah, that's kind of a frustrating thing because this here, it's there. I know it's there. Here's the files it's linking to. Here are the actual images themselves. It won't load, of course. It'll just error out after a while. From time to time, I can get these to open up, but they're pretty few and far between. Yeah, it says too many requests and too short of a time period. Probably get the same result there after a while. But the simple truth is, that kind of is really hinting about the way you name the different layers, the different elements. You need to put anything that's additional like that right at the beginning. Okay? And what I did is I paid the last 50 of the 550 run the most rare with that additional swag item. So whenever they first started running, it would only pick up these first 4, and then when it got to the last ones, it was still only picking up the first 4 because it didn't recognize to pick those up. But it's something that we eventually got kind of lined out, and it is what it is. But the issues with Pinata has kind of made it to where I can't really count on these being actually accurate. In fact, if I go in and just look at my NFTs, it's saying I'm not signed in currently. But if I go and look at my NFTs, you'll see that a lot of them are exactly like this right now. And no matter how many times you try to refresh them, they're just not going to refresh. Hey, there we go. And as you can see, this is the PNG. Let's look this one up, 542. So if I look for 542, be toward the bottom of the list. There you go. That's what this one here is supposed to be. It's kind of sad because that's actually really cool, and I like it. Yeah, but what can you do, It's just kind of one of those things. So kind of touch base on the contract building, validation, the layers. This is important, and the issues with Pinata. Those are all important. The layers and the naming functions. This is all important. The way you go through all of this. Take your time, follow the guides right. For whatever reason, I ran into issues on this as well. Man, I tell you what, this entire NFT run was just problematic. But now, the stuff I want to talk about now, though, is actually a little bit different. That was all programming. Up until now, I've talked about everything that's programming. And there comes a point where you have to realize something. You have to be able to promote your stuff. I can program well enough. Is it great? No. But it's well enough, okay? And knowing that, I'll type in 542 here, see if I can get that to populate on accident. Knowing that, oh, hey, look, it's there. Wow. Hey, I'm kind of impressed. You notice that's not loading us, though. So you see the problem. But the thing is, knowing all this now, you have to be able to get a promoter of some sort. Now, here's the thing about promoters and the promotional area in general. First and foremost, promoters, I contacted something like 5 to 10 promoters. Half of them didn't get back to me. The other half, some of them were like, oh, yeah, I do it for free. Just shoot me a handful of NFTs. And then as soon as you shot them the NFTs, and I'm going to tell you right now, these are people who were larger people who had good followings on YouTube and such and Twitter. And as soon as you'd shoot them to them, then all of a sudden they were like, well, what's the point of this NFT? What's it do? There's really, and if they were saying, hey, help me promote this, what do I need to know to promote it? That's one thing. But they were kind of more like kind of degrading the NFT in and of itself and kind of acting like, well, it's NFT is kind of pointless, dude. Why are you wanting me to promote it? And it's like, dude, you asked for a couple sent to you. That's all you said you wanted. What the heck? Now the other thing is, a couple people said, hey, yeah, you get me some a little bit of income, and I will gladly promote it for you. And I actually thought about going that way, but I was like, you know what? I'm a student. I don't want to harm myself like that. I don't want to put myself out there like that at the time. So I think you kind of get the idea pretty quickly. The promoters and the promotional areas are very strange. If you jump on Twitter and you start talking about NFTs, I did a airdrop of these on Twitter about a year ago, and I couldn't hardly give them away. I think There's something like 20 holders of these total, 15, 20 holders roughly. And I couldn't give the things away, even on Twitter. And I was doing it as a promotional. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. I got these jack-o'-lanterns, and I couldn't really even give them away. The promotional areas, I also try to give them away on other areas. And a lot of people said, nope, you can't advertise here. Buy your own advertising space. Do this, do that. Get off of here. But yet you go right back to those and you see airdrops and things like that happening left and right. And you're just kind of sit there scratching your head saying, what in the heck? So the promotional area, the promoters, man, I don't know. Really strange. A lot of really strange stuff. Now, I will tell you this. Some of the promoters that I thought about actually purchasing some good advertising through, I'm going to tell you right now, those guys there are professional, and they were taking the time to make this worthwhile. So whenever they would do it and I was watching their videos, I would see that, hey, these guys, they're not just saying and fudding it after the fact. They are actually sitting there and they're taking the time and learning about it, and they're sharing the information. That brings me to the next thing I want to talk about, and that's the space itself. My kids use the word sus. And I think that's a great, Lord, yeah. I'm kind of happy I got this to go. That's awesome. Maybe if I just sit and click through all these, it'll get them all to load. That'd be awesome if that works. So that's what I'm going to keep doing while I'm here. But basically, my kids would describe it as sus, and I 100% agree with that, because the silly thing is, when you get down to it, the whole space has got issues. Let's try, close that. Let's try 506. Yeah, it's kind of weird how this works. Sometimes it'll load, sometimes things don't. Yep, there we go. It's got a pipe, but you also notice, once again, it does not have the percentage. Weird. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating. But the space itself is very, very sus. And there is a lot of scammers, a lot of people just trying to make a quick buck. And a person like me who's just wanting to learn how to code, wanting to learn how to do these things, wanting to expand their horizons, and looking at it from a viewpoint of, hey, if somebody buys some of my collection, awesome, I'd appreciate it. But at the end of the day, the question is also, what is, and this is something that one of the people who I approached about promoting it really kind of drove home to me. He said, what's the point? And this was one of the people I'd already given some NFTs to, as a, hey, I'd like you to promote this. And he was like, well, what's the point of this NFT? No one asks people like Leonardo or Michelangelo or Da Vinci. No one has ever asked them what the point of anything that they had ever done was. No one. But yet somehow, for some reason, in cryptocurrency, and I think it's probably because the cryptocurrency community as a whole is sus, everybody's looking at it from, what can I get from this? How does it benefit me? And I get that, because you're looking at it from the viewpoint of this being an investment. Well, I'm going to let you know a little secret. You go over here, you click on this. Price is $2.94. That's probably, I don't know, could be the cheapest. 0.01, 0.015, 0.02, 0.015. Yeah, it looks like that might be one of the more affordable ones on here. 0.03. Yeah, 0.01. That's definitely on the lower end pricing wise. Wait. It's changed. What do you mean? Okay. The point is this. You're talking about a couple dollars. Now, I know money's tight for a lot of folk, but here's the thing. If you're really wanting to collect something, the big question is, and everybody says, what is the point? Where do you see NFTs in general going forward? In all honesty, I made these because I like them. I've thought about adding additional features to them, as in, I am a student. I am still coding. I am still creating. I've made a number of tokens and things like that since then. and I've been involved in a number of hackathons and such. And I've got an idea for a token, and one of the ideas was very simple. Hey, whoever owns any of these particular items, whenever the token is ready to roll, they'll automatically be entered into an airdrop. That's a cool idea. But at the same time, the reality is it doesn't have to be that way. It could just be because, hey, I like the art. If I go into my NFTs, which for whatever reason on here, maybe it'll show me. I like the art. This was actually for a video game that came out. They were supposed to be working on, didn't quite work out right. Once again, I like the art. And of course, I get into the ones I own myself. And that's just on this wallet. But the thing is, when you really get down to it, you have to ask yourself, what is the point really of cryptocurrency? What is the point of NFTs? It's digital art. If digital art has additional features, awesome. If it doesn't, so what? The additional feature is this. It's something you can collect if you like. It's something that if you don't want to collect, you don't have to. No one's forced you to. But at the same time, for just a couple dollars, you could own something that's cool that you can carry and have until you just don't want it anymore. Me, myself, I've thought about actually linking my cryptocurrency account to my Facebook page and showing off my NFTs there. But it just kind of is what it is. The thing is, when you really get down to it, what is the point? That's something everybody individually has to answer. Me, I do intend on whenever I finally get the token, the bugs, and everything else worked out that I want to get worked out of it, when I finally do get to that point, I don't even know who this guy is. When I finally do get to that point, I actually want to take and make it worth having these. But is that something I can do today or tomorrow? No. Something I can do in the next couple of years? Definitely. But anyways, I just wanted to, I like that one. I just wanted to take the time, kind of talk a little bit about the different things that's happening within cryptocurrency, specifically NFTs, and talk about the stuff that I wish I knew going back then. Sorry if this video was a little rambly at points and it might be a little long, but it really comes down to this. It's all about contract building, the contract validation, the layers and naming functions, getting that stuff right. But then after that, it's dealing with people. And people are weird, man. They're weird. Thanks for tuning in.